is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry if you guys can hear Sadie in the background. Hopefully she lays down pretty soon. She's been doing this for a while, so I've been waiting to start the camera until she was done throwing her little temper tantrum. But anyways, today's video is gonna be about Sadie. It's sort of like a story time about what happened to her recently. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, then you probably don't know. But recently Sadie got hurt. Actually, I think I mentioned it in my 4th of July makeup tutorial, but like I didn't do a whole thing about it. So I'm finally sitting down and doing this because I wanted to wait until I had like all the information and basically until like the whole situation was over with, which it still sort of isn't, but we're pretty close. So hopefully, I'm hoping. But anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. So basically on June 28th, we went to the dog park. Sadie loves going to the dog park. It was just like a fun day. So she's just playing with the other dogs, having a great time. And then this other guy came and brought in his big dog, and Sadie goes with the larger dogs because she weighs more than 30 pounds and she doesn't really have fun with the small dogs anyways. And she's playing with dogs that are her size, and then a big lab comes in and they're playing perfectly fine. Sadie's been trampled by huge dogs before, by huskies, like German shepherds, all this like big dogs, you know, and she's like half of their size. So she's been trampled, pushed up against the fence, just like thrown everywhere. And so I didn't think anything of it. And then all of a sudden the owner throws the ball because his dog, he's playing fetch with his dog, I guess. So then he throws the ball, and it's one of those dogs that it's just like, it doesn't care what's in its way. It's just gonna run them over, ran them down, whatever, to get to his ball. So basically he threw the ball and Sadie was standing behind this dog. So like there's this dog, here's Sadie, the guy that threw the ball was like over here and threw it this direction. And I think, because the dog was obviously looking at its owner, waiting for him to throw the ball. So the dog, I think, tried to jump over her but couldn't and just slammed right into her. And so she screamed, and like that, like my heart just dropped. And so I ran over to her. Well, at first I was like walking kind of fast over to her because she screamed and then she was trying to get away, and I was like, oh Sadie. So then I was like walking over, and then I noticed that she's like screaming and screaming and screaming and dragging her legs. So I start to run to her and I stop her because she's trying to run off to the side, because there's benches at the dog park. There's like a bench on each little corner. And so normally when she's playing with the dogs and she like hides from them or she gets scared, you know, she'll go and hide under the bench where I'm sitting or whatever. So she runs to a bench to go hide behind it. And I stop her because she's just freaking out, dragging her legs, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I stop her, calm her down. All the dogs are like, what's going on? And everyone was really nice. They helped me get her to the car. They even offered to like drive us home, but I was like, I have my car here, it's fine. And they were like, oh, okay. Like they didn't know if I had my car or not. So the guy whose dog did it, he was like, I'm so sorry, you know, like I was like, it's fine, dogs are dogs, they play, it's fine. I'm not upset about it, but I kind of am, but I'm not really, because like they're dogs, they don't know better, so whatever. And it was an accident. It's not like he attacked my dog, you know? So I get her home and I just lay her down and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should take her to the vet. I don't know if she just got hurt, like, you know, like hit her pretty hard and she's just kind of in shock from it, or kind of sore or whatever. But she didn't want to move, and if I would try to like pick her up with the bed to move her, she would like scream and freak out. So I was like, oh my gosh. So then I called the vet and asked them if they did emergency visits, and they do. So then I told them we'd wait it out for about an hour and see if she's like okay, and then if not, then I'll bring her in, because she did not look good. Like, I don't know, it scared me. They were saying that maybe she broke something or dislocated something, and I was like, oh my god, like no, I don't want to know, because she was dragging her legs. So then I took her in, they did x-rays, which I have pictures of the x-rays. Basically, they x-rayed her left leg because he did an exam and tried to move her back legs like full range of motion. The right leg was perfectly fine, moved it perfectly fine, no problem there. The left leg, she was really tense and like stiff and like wouldn't let him move it. So he was like, okay, there's something wrong with this one. So then he x-rayed that and her diaphragm. He said that looking from the x-rays, everything looked fine. He was like, I think that she was just being a big baby about it. And he's like, I don't want to be like, oh, like she's being a baby, you know, like, but he's like, that's what it looks like. There's nothing apparently wrong or broken to me. So like, she might be in shock or something, or just kind of sore. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then he goes over the x-rays with me later on. And so then him looking at this x-rays like a second time, he was like, okay, looking at them again, I kind of see a little something. So he zooms in on her knee, I believe it was, and there was a little fracture. He wasn't sure if it was just because she's a puppy and it's like a growth plate, so he sent it into a specialist. And he was like, the consultation's free, so I'll just give you a call tomorrow letting you know what he says about it and if he sees what I see. And so we did that. They gave her Rimadyl, which is an anti-inflammatory, so she went home and she was taking that. So then he called me back the next day and let me know what the specialist said, and he said that, yeah, it looked like a small fracture and that it could heal itself with some rest. You know, of course, surgery would be the best option and just like faster recovery or whatever. But he was like, if you don't want to go the surgery route, you can just always keep her rested. He said just keep her rested for a month, I think he said. Or he said like a good couple weeks, so yeah. So then after that, he said to come back in about a week or so to check up, see how she's doing. So we did that, and I told him that I had noticed she wasn't using her right leg, because at a week, she started to move around more, and like it was so sad because to take her to go to the bathroom, I wouldn't really take her outside. I would just have to pick her up, and like there would be a puppy pad there and she would just go. Like she did not want to move or anything. She just knew that once I picked her up, she would go, or she would just go when she was laying down if I wasn't around to do that. So yeah, it was really sad. So then at about a week, she started to feel better, it seemed. She wanted to move around more. I was able to take her outside with a sling, like sling walking her so she wasn't putting pressure on her back legs. And then I would notice that she would move around the house, still dragging her legs, but pushing off with her left leg. So then I was like, well, obviously the right side's in more discomfort if she doesn't even want to move that one. And I would try to lay her on the other side, and she didn't really want to. She only wanted to lay on one side. So I mentioned that when I brought her in, and then so he went ahead and took an x-ray of the right leg and her spine, because he did an exam and she was curling her toes under. I can't remember the term that my friend used. I think she said club foot or something like that, but she was doing that and she wouldn't flip her toes back up like how dogs would normally stand on their feet. And she would, but it was a very, very late delayed reaction. And then he would also pinch between her toes to see if she would react, because on one side she would, but that side was still a little bit slow too, but it wasn't like nearly as slow as the other one. And so then he would pinch her other leg or her toes, and it was very late reaction, but she would pull away. So he was like, it's a good sign that she does pull away. And I was like, I'm worried that because I was like, I would touch her foot, she wouldn't really move it. Like I noticed she wasn't even moving it or anything. So I was like, it worried me. So then he did an x-ray of her spine and her left leg to see if anything was broken. So, not the left leg, sorry, the right leg. So then the right leg was perfectly fine, and her spine, he said that it looked like she did have some displacement of a disc. I think that's the right term or something. I don't know, some displacement in her back, in the more warning areas. I don't know, like he said like T something and L something. It's basically like how they count each little piece of the spine. I don't know. But he was like, it is that in that range, that area that's like more of a warning. And he's like, normally you see dogs with longer backs come in and they're dragging their legs when they get hurt because they're more prone to back issues or back injuries. So he was like, but you know, like other dogs can obviously get it if they hurt themselves in the right spot. So he said that, you know, again, surgery is the best option. But if we aren't gonna do surgery, then rest. So he said strict kennel rest for 2 to 3 months. So that's a long time. It hasn't even been a month yet. So she's been on kennel rest. He said keep walking her with the sling. She started to stand up and walk now. So she doesn't have any problems walking or running or jumping. Oh my gosh, that's so annoying. I try to keep her from doing it as much as possible. I try to keep her in there. The only time she's out of there is when she goes to the bathroom or when she throws an absolute fit and does not want to be in there. And she really just wants to be sitting on the couch with me when I'm watching Netflix. So I just let her lay on the couch. But if she gets hyped up or anything, then I have to put her back in because I don't want her to be moving around too much. So even though she does move around so much in her crate, it's annoying. But yeah. So that's where we're at right now. She seems to be doing a lot better, which is so good. I was so worried that she was going to be paralyzed or something and that she wasn't gonna be the same happy puppy that she was before, running around at the dog park. We're not going to the dog park anymore. Everyone has said that it's so dangerous. You know, there's so many things that can happen at the dog park. You can get sick at the dog park, like your puppy can get sick from other dogs, and then they can also get hurt from aggressive dogs or just like she did, you know, just playing a little too hard. So yeah, but I think that's all I gotta say really. My camera's gonna overheat, sorry. So I think I'm gonna go, but yeah, if you guys wanna know a little bit more or if I left anything out, I don't know if I did, but you guys feel free to ask me questions about Sadie, how she's doing, all this stuff, what kind of medication she was on, whatever you guys wanna know, if you are going through the same situation, whatever. But yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys comment down below, like I said. Also give me some more video ideas and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Also don't forget to subscribe for more videos and I will see you guys next time. Bye.